Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Zia Khwaja. I welcome all of you from MMK Hub platform. Today's lecture is Anatomy of the Mediastinum, which is a part of anatomy lecture, and this is an education initiative of MMK for the students to clear their concepts. Our objective is, by the end of the lecture, students should be able to define the mediastinum. Student can differentiate between the divisions of the mediastinum. What are the boundaries and content of each division of the mediastinum? What are the relationships between the important structure in each division? So first of all, what is mediastinum? Mediastinum is a thick, movable partition between the two pleural sacs and lungs. It contains all the structures which lie in the intermediate compartment of the thoracic cavity. So the mediastinum is basically a structure between the left hemithorax and right hemithorax, and it contains many important structures which we will discuss in the next few slides. Mediastinum is bounded superiorly by the thoracic outlet, which include the manubrium, sterni, first rib, and first thoracic vertebra. Inferiorly, it is bounded by the diaphragm. As you can see here in this diagram, which is showing the lateral view of the thoracic cavity. Anteriorly, there is sternum, and posteriorly, there are the 12 thoracic vertebrae. So these boundaries bound a space which is called the mediastinum. The mediastinum is subdivided into superior mediastinum and inferior mediastinum by an imaginary line which starts from the sternal angle to the thoracic forevertebra posteriorly. Sternal angle, if you feel your sternum from the sternal notch downward, the first bony prominence is the sternal angle. Sternal angle is an important landmark in anatomy of the sternum and the thoracic cavity. So if you draw an imaginary line from the sternal angle back to the thoracic forevertebra, this line, this transverse plane, divides the mediastinum in two portions. Above this, an imaginary plane is the superior mediastinum, and below this imaginary plane is the inferior mediastinum. Superior mediastinum is further divided into superficial, intermediate, and deep, which we will discuss in the next slide. Superior mediastinum is bounded superiorly by the thoracic outlet and inferiorly by this horizontal imaginary plane passing through the sternal angle to the thoracic fourth vertebra. Anteriorly, there is the manubrium sterni, and posteriorly, there is the upper four thoracic vertebrae. So this bounded portion above the imaginary line passing from the sternal angle to the thoracic four vertebra is the superior mediastinum. This sternal angle or the level of T4 is an important landmark in anatomy of the thoracic cavity, and the importance of this level of T4 is that at this level there is the sternal angle. Anteriorly, there is the satin costal cartilage, means the satin rib is attached at the point of the sternal angle. This landmark also signifies the bifurcation of the trachea. It is also the area where the pulmonary trunk is divided into two branches, and it is also the beginning and the termination of the arch of the aorta. So this is the significance of the T4 level or the sternal angle level. We will quick revision of these, that there is the sternal angle at T4 level, there is the satin costal cartilage attachment. It means you can count the ribs from this sternal angle or T4 level. There is the bifurcation of the trachea at this level, bifurcation of the pulmonary trunk, and beginning and the termination of the arch of the aorta. As we are discussing superior mediastinum, it is further divided into the superficial, intermediate portion, and the deep portion. The superficial portion of the superior mediastinum contains the thymus gland and three veins. One is the left brachiocephalic vein, right brachiocephalic vein, and the superior vena cava. Means the superficial portion of the superior mediastinum contained four structures, one gland and three veins. The gland is the thymus gland, and the veins are the right brachiocephalic vein, left brachiocephalic vein, and the superior vena cava, as shown in this diagram. In intermediate portion or intermediate part of the superior mediastinum, there is the arch of aorta and its three branches. There is brachiocephalic artery and left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery, and two nerves. One is the phrenic nerve and the second is the vagus nerve. So, in summary, in intermediate portion of the superior mediastinum, there is the arch of the aorta and its three branches, brachiocephalic artery, left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery, and two nerves, which are the phrenic nerve and vagus nerve. And the third portion of the superior mediastinum is the deep portion. And deep portion contains the trachea, esophagus, and thoracic duct. So next is the inferior mediastinum. Inferior mediastinum is for this lecture. Hope you understand. If there is any query, any problem, you can discuss with us on our WhatsApp group as well as our Facebook page or our website. Inshallah, see you soon in the next lecture.